Okay, as we're getting ready to sew, I want you to see that I have pinned the sleeves. I talked about pinning the darts, and you can see that I've also pinned the darts on the back, the 2 darts on the back, and the 2 on the front, on each front. And I've pinned the sleeve here in the underarm seam, just so that I'm ready to go to the sewing machine and sew. Now, I do this because you want to make sure your sleeve is your 2 sleeves are mirror image. With this fabric, there would not have been a question because we have a clear dark side, which is the right side. We're using as the right side, and a lighter side, which is the wrong side. And so we don't even have to worry that they're not, that we wouldn't get these put together right. But if you're working on a fabric that doesn't have a clear right and wrong side, that can be confusing. And if you do both sleeves exactly the same, they don't fit properly into the armhole because we have a different shape for the 2 sides of the sleeve. So I just want you to see that that is another good habit to develop at the cutting table, is to go ahead and form your sleeves and pin them. And here you can see when I pin a seam, I do pin it with the heads of the pins sticking out of the seam so that I can easily pull them as I sew, which I find to be a good habit when I am starting to sew the seams. I will now take all these pieces to the machine, which is all set up, and I will, after I sew the darts on the back, I will sew at 1/2 inch my stay stitching line with the basic stitch length that you are using, and I will also sew from the shoulder down the center front of each center front in order to keep those from stretching when I put in the band or other things. So that's why we do the stay stitching. It keeps the pieces from stretching when you are sewing them together. And now it's time to sew. It seems like we have so much work we have to do before we sew, but if we are prepared, our sewing is much easier, isn't it?